I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome back to another review of another shelf in the Dice Tower Library. We're on 10D, and if you've been paying attention, Shelf 10 is full of many welcoming games, from Century to Pandemic to Ticket to Ride to Azul to Carcassonne. Now, there's no series here on this shelf, Shelf 4, but there's a lot of very popular games that are welcoming games, but also gamers like many of them. So here we go. The first one, Big Money. I wrote it on the side because you can't see the name of the game, which is, come on, publishers, stop doing this nonsense to us. Anyway, Big Money is simply roll dice, collect properties. You get money from doing them. It's kind of a push your luck, almost Mykerinos style type game, but very light, and I like it a lot. That's why it's in the library. In fact, I played it at the last retreat. Then we have The Wizard Always Wins. If you're the wizard in this game, you win. But getting to be the wizard takes some doing. You're pulling tiles and stuff from a bag, trying to get them. You could win on turn 2, I think, although your luck there is that would involve incredible luck. Again, another light game, but I think it's a lot of fun. All right, Mykerinos shouldn't be on the shelf. I don't know why it is. This is a fun game. It is heavy filler is what I call it. A very meaty Istari game about opening up a museum. It's simple, it's light, but it is definitely more involved than many of the games on this shelf. But definitely one worth checking out. Then we have Qwirkle. Qwirkle is a great, if you like Scrabble and you were like, hey man, I wish I didn't have to think of words and just could use colors and shapes, then Qwirkle is for you. Qwirkle is wooden blocks. It's great. They've made many spin-offs. They're pretty much all terrible, but Qwirkle itself is worth playing. Next to Qwirkle, we have Castle Panic. This won't be here for long, mostly because we already have a giant size Castle Panic, and there's even a bigger one coming. And this one, in a tower defense, you got creatures coming in, a cooperative game. Very fun game, and it's sold very well, but like I said, we have the bigger version elsewhere. Next to it, we have Munchkin Panic. Pretty much the same game, but with the Munchkin theme. Why would you not want that? Citadels is after that, and Citadels, of course, a great classic card game. That's also probably a little heavier than some of the stuff on this shelf, but you know what, I'm going to say that about a lot of these games, so anyway, who cares? Citadels is a game where you roll select, and that roll will help you build buildings. And this game has been out for 20 years now, and it still is relevant today. Next to that, we have My Happy Farm. One of 2 games here that has the word happy in it. This one here, you are building long, stretchy animals. I'm not kidding. It's a really long cow, a really long pig, or a really long whatever. It's a pretty solid game, though. You're just collecting these, making long animals. It's simple and fun, and it's really funny to watch. Then we have Majesty for the Realm. It's a pretty boring name. It's actually a fairly good game. It's similar to, think, Splendor, things like that, where you're collecting cards in this game. I like it a lot. It did not get a lot of buzz, but it is an excellent game that you can play between others. Then we have the Game of 49. Now, the Game of 49 looks like a mass market game because, guess what? It really is. But in this game, where you are buying different spots on the board, and there are 49 different squares on the board, trying to land on the right one, it works pretty well. I was surprised. When I went into Game of 49, I expected to dislike it, and it's very fun. Happy Pigs here is the heaviest game of all of these ones here, and it doesn't look like it. I mean, if you notice, there's a square pig on this. In this game, you are raising pigs, or my copy. I think you also have ducks, penguins, and other animals, but you're raising pigs. It's like a stock market game. You're raising, growing, and selling pigs, breeding pigs. It is really fun, though, and although it has a very cute-looking box. Then we have Colt Express, another Spiel des Jahres winner. I think this shelf has the most Spiel des Jahres winners on it. It has Azul, Ticket to Ride, Carcassonne, Catan, etc. And Colt Express is about a bunch of people robbing a train. Has a little bit of programming, has a 3D train. It's very light and silly fun. Then we have Lanterns. I'm a little ashamed to say I still haven't played Lanterns. I keep meaning to. It's one of the most played games out there. I think it's like number 2 on the list of all games that have the most ratings that I haven't played. I never got around to it, but I heard it's really fun, so I'll accept those people's words. Splendor is next to this. Splendor, I've talked about. Splendor, which did not win the Spiel des Jahres, but was definitely nominated for it, collecting poker chips, turning them in. to get these different people. It is so boring of a theme, and yet everyone loves it. So they changed the theme and made a Marvel version, which I also put on here. The Marvel version is much nicer looking, but it is pretty much the exact same game with a small change, and I actually think I like the original Splendor slightly better. The box there for Splendor, by the way, is the box for its expansion, and I think the expansion stuff is in there. Grimm Masquerade. This is a nice style game in that it feels like a social deduction game, but works with a small amount of people. Like, for example, you could play it with 3. We played this one live on the Dice Tower channel, so you can go back and look at it. But I like this one a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun as you're trying to figure out what fairy tale character each person is. And then next to that, another game where they decided not to put the name of the game on the side of the box, and that is Parks. Parks, of course, a great game based on the national parks in America. Beautiful artwork, very simple game, definitely worth your time. Now this one is a hard shelf for me to pick my favorite game on. I don't know. I mean, on one hand, I want to say Citadels, but I also really like that Happy Pigs game, but I think I'm going to have to stick with Citadels. Citadels, a great game here. What's your favorite? So many fun games. Let me know in the comments. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been taking a look at another shelf review in the Dice Tower Library. See you next time.